Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Blades in the Dark rules by Evil Hat Productions. This actual play is performed by adults and contains adult themes. Our Duskwall is intended for adults, and so listeners should pay close attention to all listed content warnings. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. And now, on to the heist. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am not your keeper, game master, or handler this evening. I am simply doing this wonderful introduction to introduce you to our Goatfather, who I will pass the table and dice and distractions to them for all the fun we're going to have. So, Nichelle, take it away.
Thank you so much. I am Nichelle Schneider. I am your Goatfather of the evening. And I am going to be running an NPC mostly named effing Susie. She's 6 years old. And she's going to be your Goatfather this evening. And to my right.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I am playing Sweet Pea, who is 14 years old.
Hello, my name is Courtney. I am playing Dove. We both use she, her pronouns, and Dove is 16.
And I'm Mike. I will be playing Bacon Boy, who is probably about 15. We both use the he, him pronoun, and he is likely, at this point, up to no good.
All right. For this wonderful Goatfather evening, we are playing and utilizing the fan-created April Fool's playbook made by Sean Nittner called The Mate. It is a young scoundrel. It is not from the core or any of the other fan creations. And we're going to have some fun tonight. Firstly, we are going to get started with a couple of scenes to kind of set the mood. So in front of you, there is a child dressed in rich void velvet and laces. The entire room somber and silence beyond the flickering candles. A small shrine memorial set in one wall of the space. Flowers and candles along with a glass plate. Negative image sits within it. The inverse rat standing on a stool with a hat and tie as Susie stood beside it. The floor covered in petals and buttons, along with dark drapes you can only guess were taken out of a wealthy window for the occasion. A deep sigh draws your attention as a muscular Skov manservant begins to play a music box of hauntingly somber opera, slowly turning the handle as tears stream down his face and bare chest. A black lace garter around one of his biceps bouncing as he plays music. I'd ask ya here today. The thought of this would never come. Your scum offered me a favor and I aim to collect. Susie continues to sit through as a newborn white rat the size of a tabby cat sits in her lap being stroked. Only Susie's forehead appearing above the desk before the manservant swivels the chair several times around to raise her view above to see you. Bastards must pay for what them did to poor Bubs. Now go and bring him back and knock us our other valuables. Put them dead goat head in the bed. I don't care. Effing Susie demands as she strokes the new alabaster-colored fur rodent. The manservant is still playing the music box as Susie holds up a cigar towards him, his other hand holding up a blowtorch to light it. After a few strong draws on it, she tosses several small pouches of coin onto the desk towards you. So, are you men or are you mice? You gonna go ahead and do this for me? Close scene. Bacon Boy, your contact Healy meets up with you later that same day.
Okay.
Catches you around one of your favorite haunts, one of your favorite spots to pickpocket, and passes couple of mushroom loaves that he happened to swipe on the way. I've got a new job for you, if you're willing to take it.
I'm listening.
Wealthy client.
All right.
So, I want you to go ahead. It's a harpsichord.
What?
A harpsichord? You know, one of them fancy musical instruments that got strings on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I'm pretty sure. All I know is it makes noises when you push the buttons. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Anyhoozle. I need you to collect this. Big money payout if you get it.
Okay. I like that.
Gotta be sneaky like.
I mean, that's sort of my gig.
Oh, good. It's, old Jock's uncle. Got one of them in his big fancy house.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it big?
Gonna need more than one goat.
Well, there's more goats than me. All right.
Yeah, it's usually a good thing.
I'll collect some goats and go collect this fancy thing you need.
Excellent. Oh, I figured out. You know, they say Jock's uncle may or may not have had something to do with a certain somebody's demise recently. Such a shame, that accident. Pretty sure that's what they're trying to get it to sound like. But I know Bubs, and he wouldn't have ever been in that type of situation before. So, you might be going to the same spot.
Well, that's a nice coincidence.
Mm-hmm. I figured so.
Yeah. What is it they say? Two birds, one stone?
Something along those lines. I don't know. Never read.
Yeah, me either. Who's got the time? I'm just trying to eat. I stick some of the loaf in my mouth.
All right. I'll let you get back to your crew.
Or we'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good. And usual drop-off spot.
Yeah, no problem.
Back at the warehouse.
Tonight?
Figure nobody will be back there.
Yeah, shouldn't be. Yeah, we'll get it done.
Good man. All right. I'm off. There's supposedly going to be a big funeral Susie is putting on, and supposedly some dignitaries coming later. So I'm going to go make sure the bereavement gifts are a little bit more substantial, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, of course, you got to do the right thing.
Exactly. And Keely just vanishes off into the crowd.
Yeah, I turn around, finish the first part of the loaf that I got, and then probably stow some in my pocket for the other goats, because I'm sure they're hungry too.
Mm-hmm. So you head back sometime later that day to your guys' headquarters. And we're just going to say that this is Susie's spot where your mom lives. She's renting out the basement.
Oh, okay.
As a little, new headquarters. There was a lot of heat that came with Bubs' death, and she's relocating. So at the moment, Mildred's kind of putting her up. But we'll go with Mildred. That's a little better. I like that name.
Okay. So I can imagine Bacon Boy's probably looking to get into the spot without alerting anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He likes appearing where he's not supposed to be. So whether that be closet, under like a dresser, he probably commonly tries to appear out of like under a table, that sort of thing. But since it's the gang's hangout, then he'll use the window. Because who uses doors anyway?
That's actually where the welcome rug is.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Susie definitely stole and put inside the window and not out. So, and I'm going to say that Dove and Sweet Pea are both there in the lair.
Kismet. I clap my hands together. Who wants a mushroom loaf?
I'll take some of that.
You dig into my pocket and break it into a couple pieces and set it on one of the likely like a stool. I'll give the stool a decent wipe. And if there isn't a clean place to set it, I'll take my top hat off and then sort of brush it very carefully and set it down. Put the food on it. We got a gig.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's some rich fella's got a harpsichord we need to amscray with.
What's a harpsichord?
I think it's a fancy thing you play music on.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Strings or something? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
I sure haven't.
Play a real sweet melody. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm. There might also be an availability of some comeuppance for somebody who once did somebody wrong. Somebody we like. And so it gives us maybe an opportunity to maybe stick our thumbs in their eye at the same time.
That always sounds like fun, Bacon Boy.
That's right. Now, this place is probably fancy. And so we'll have to see what we can do about getting a little cleaned up before we get in there. I'm not talking about wearing anything fancy, but we got to figure out how we want to get in and how we want to get out with it. I don't think I can carry this harpsis or whatever with my on my own. So one of you two is going to have to help me lug it out of there.
Oh, I'm happy to help you lug it out.
Yeah, I can certainly do my best, Bacon Boy. Not much muscle on these bones, but I'll do my best.
That's to be good enough. If it's got to take all three of us, so be it. Drop us at the warehouse. Same place as always.
You hear a rumbling, scraping noise coming from the small stove furnace, potbelly stove in the corner. And door kind of pops, the hatch kind of pops open. The door opens and out crawls Susie. Probably a little tight of a fit for her. And she takes a moment to get on out. There's a lot of profanity as she escapes the furnace. Somebody probably going through a growth spurt and not really willing to accept that she's actually getting bigger. So, oh my God. I think I actually got a pretty decent nap in there till you started blabbering.
Well, work's work. People got to eat, right?
Yeah. I know. I sent off my man to go ahead and babysit, so I'm at your disposal for a few moments. But I hear you might have a job in addition to what you're supposed to be doing for me, so...
Well, it's true. We got to nick some fancy musical instrument.
Oh, really?
But word is from Healy that this fellow you've been looking for?
Yeah?
In the same place.
Oh, is that so? She kind of just meanders over to a trunk and pulls out a very mean-looking nail gun. Does a couple of shots into the cobbles, the stone floor beneath. You might have some gems to go ahead and stick to the stone, if you know what I mean.
I shudder.
Susie, you're always so funny.
It's part of my charm. It's part of my charm, honey. Hey, you need any equipment for this?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can get a goat head or something from the butcher down the street. I already got that planned out. I just didn't know where to go.
Okay.
You say some fancy house?
Mm-hmm. That's what I hear.
Hmm.
I sort of give them the lowdown of where Healy had said that the location is.
That son of a bitch. You're telling me Jock's relative is the one with all of this?
I'm telling you that that's what Healy was telling me.
I mean, Jock doesn't ever done me wrong, but his family obviously has, which means he has. I don't appreciate it. Susie just kind of scratches her chin a little bit in pondering. Now that you mention it, there was that one time. I didn't steal his carriage for that long. And, I never did find out on whether or not they went ahead and got the paint off of them goats. Okay, so there was a thing, and she launches into this larger-than-life story of something that she did, stole a noble's carriage, and painted up all the goats like zebras or some shit. She doesn't know what a zebra necessarily looks like, but, supposedly it was to make them run faster. She thought she was doing them a favor. Now that you mention it, there was a few weeks back one of them men went ahead and I didn't think it was connected. I thought that they were after me for something else I did. But why'd they gotta go after poor Bubs?
I don't know. All I know is
Don't make sense.
We got two jobs, though. We got to do your nailing, and we got to deal with this harpsichord.
I usually do the nailing, but...
You want to come with?
Wouldn't want to take the satisfaction away from you, Susie.
I'm more than happy to come along. I mean, not to say that I'm not gonna wander off and find trouble. I mean, might have some really good buttons.
Well, sounds like we're a foursome then. Group up?
Yeah. Hey, I got some equipment then. I'm pretty sure. And don't tell Mom upstairs that this stuff's down here. She thinks she's just holding on to my poor dear parents' memorabilia. She starts shoving off some crate lids and everything, and there's full ass weaponry and all kinds of shit in here. And she's like, "Don't have Goatfather, but she doesn't need to know." And starts getting in there, and she'll pass around a couple of guns if you guys want, a couple extra grenades, and there's even a blow dart with like a bandolier alongside of it, but nothing is labeled.
I'll happily take a grenade.
This looks some fancy, and she...
Be careful where you aim that.
Dove's gonna pick up the bandolier with the blow dart and all the fancy colored vials of stuff. This looks like a lot of fun.
You'd be the belle of the ball.
Yeah, I think Bacon Boy's probably just going to take likely bladed weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And then, some specific sort of supplies and tools that assist him in being quiet and breaking into things.
Susie will wander out for a little bit as you guys gear up, and then we'll come back with a large wrapped cloth something. Bottom of the bag is a little bloody. Anyone want to hold this?
Can't say that I do, Susie. It's leaking.
Won't leak too much longer.
All right, give it to me.
Bacon Boy to the rescue.
Yeah. Just, we got to get the harpsichord to the warehouse by the end of the night.
You want me to go steal a carriage?
Couldn't hurt.
That's likely going to be easier than us trying to carry it all the way back here.
You're the best at it.
Definitely am. It'd be really funny if I use Jock's rental service to screw his old man over.
That would be funny. Everybody get a laugh out of that, except Jock, but meh.
Who cares about Jock? He hasn't even brought me flowers yet.
That's just downright disrespectful.
He probably doesn't even respect me. After all the good and everything I've given him. Susie will have a means of transportation for you later that night if you guys want to get going. Or is there anything you want to do in prep? Anything else?
I guess I have a question more for the rest of the goats. As far as Dove and Sweet Pea go, like, what do I know about what they're good at? We've worked with them for a while, and if I'm either leader or de facto leader or guy holding a bloody goat head, I'd like to know what they do, or maybe what they like doing.
Yeah.
Dove's got a little bit of that magic in her. She carries a rune bag that's got some bones that she sometimes talks to when she's feeling like she needs to get the stress away. But yeah, she's got a little bit of that connection to the magic, and she's quick on her feet. A little finesse here and there. Other than that, she's okay at looking at stuff, and she likes to stick her nose in a book.
Something that Sweet Pea is very good at is skirmish. I'm happy to be in melee if I absolutely need to be. And I do analyze situations just a little bit more than, some other people, because I've been in situations where I had to get away pretty fast, and being able to read the situation is better rather than worse.
I say probably there's been a couple of scraping matches that you've done with effing Susie to just kind of stay limber and stay alert, maybe learn a new technique or so. She quite enjoys it.
Okay. Well, based on that, then I think what the two of you would probably know about Bacon Boy is that he's probably a little skittish every time Dove talks to Bones. Probably creeps him out a little. But he's someone who's light on his feet and who can disappear, sometimes at a moment's notice. And he very much enjoys the exhilaration of stealing breakfast. Doesn't matter the time of day, but he enjoys finding a way to filch food for free. And the two of you are likely like the recipients of some of that good fortune.
Yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and just dive right on into the action. You guys make a plan. Effing Susie in tow. She does bring up a fairly nice carriage later on in the evening. And as she's waiting for you guys to be ready, she'll go ahead and walk over to the goats and has a little bucket of paint and just paints some little racing stripes down the back of the goats. I do this every time. Makes them really go fast. Puts she does a little lime wash on the back of the goats.
You're such an artiste, effing Susie.
Yeah. What's your favorite number?
Oh, 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular one you like most? Which goat?
That one at the front that's got the white spot on its nose.
Yeah. You got a keen eye, Dove. You got a keen eye. She'll go ahead and just add a number 3 onto its flank hind quarter. Say, always got to have them lucky numbers. You never know when the spirits of something may or may not want to give some divine intervention.
You are so right, Susie. So right.
Yeah. All right. Are you all ready to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Also, I found... Hey, Sweet Pea,
Yeah.
what's the dumbest name that you ever know?
Well, there was this kid named Coriander I knew once. I don't think any child should have to suffer through that.
That's such a mouthful.
It's definitely a stupid name.
You know what's another stupid name?
Tell me.
Steve. Who the fuck has a name simple as... It's just... I don't know. Something rubs me wrong. That's what I went ahead and looked up while you guys were getting ready. Yeah. Jock's uncle? Name is Steve.
I wrinkle my nose. It sounds like something you do after you have something bad to eat. I gotta go, Steve.
Right? You know, if he's got kids, I bet Sweet Pea, one of them's name is Coriander.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Also, when this is all over, we gotta talk to Jock and get him some culture. Because if this is one of his one of his paternal influences, you're going down the wrong road.
That's true.
All right. Get inside. I'll get us there safe.
Yeah, I help folks inside the carriage.
Off you guys go. Till you come up to a decent-sized house. It's not super fancy, but it's definitely fancier than you guys have seen, and you're kind of taken aback a little bit because you thought you knew Jock, but this is definitely more than he's ever mentioned before. And now you're wondering, what else he hasn't been telling you in your time of knowing him. But it's dark out. Evidently, the family is out attending a family thing, so they are not here. And as you guys get out of the carriage, I will say, Susie is not there. You have no fucking clue who drove you here, but she gone.
She's a wily one. Do we want to go in through the back door, or you want to do a window special?
I sort of pat my jacket down. We could certainly divide and conquer if you want, but I do prefer the windows. I think people don't think about windows. This place is probably so drafty they have to open windows up at a moment's notice, keep all the Steve out of it. Sort of shake my coat.
Very, very astute of you.
I will say that this is a 2-story house. So kind of probably what you would consider like a brownstone kind of a vibe. So some of the living space is on the bottom floor. They're fancy. They got two whole stories here.
Alrighty. Well, let me take a look and see what I can see. You two stay on lookout and make sure that we don't get creeped on.
You got it.
I'll head to that corner of the house. It's gonna be easier to divide and conquer, I think.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the opposite. No problem.
Yeah, so with that in place, my plan would be then to, I suppose, find a way to prowl my way into the house.
All right. Go ahead and make me a roll for it.
All right.
And we're going to say when it comes to blades, there's position and effect. So there's controlled, risky, desperate. And effect is limited, great, extreme. So we're just going to start out even Steven here. Ugh, Steve. And we're going to say here risky standard position for finding a point of entry. You can adjust that if you want.
I think the first roll I'll probably just take even rather than try to
Mm-hmm.
try to... I don't have any stress at the moment, so I have a fun ability that works off stress, but yeah. So for the benefit of our listeners, when we roll skill resolutions in Blades, how is that done, Goatfather?
So I set position and effect. You tell me if there's any adjustment. So like if you're pushing yourself to change position for effect or gaining an extra dice, if you want a devil's bargain to potentially have a consequence that happens, but you gain something from it for this particular roll. And you just roll your pips in that particular action.
Awesome. So just a d6 per pip then.
Mm-hmm.
So Bacon Boy has a prowl of 2. I'll roll 2d6. And do we count them together, or are they announced singly?
They are announced individually.
Okay, so that is a 5 and a 4.
Okay, so in Blades, a 1 through a 3 result is a failure, consequences happen. A 4 and a 5, you succeed. A complication may happen. And a 6 is a success, no complication or consequence. So you rolled a 5, we go with your highest number. So yeah, I'm gonna say one of the back windows in the kitchen is open. Looks like they may have been doing a bit of cooking earlier on, so they're trying to air out the house and get a little bit of that heat out.
Oh boy, wouldn't it just be like them to leave some food out or within my grasp as I come to that window? Okay, so certainly happy to approach, get a better look, and then once I have it and I know that we're safe, potentially to enter the house this way, then I'll signal with sort of this quick whistle to both Sweet Pea and Dove, so that they know that we have an entry point.
I'd really like to tap in to the ghost realm just to see if we've got a bit of a extraterrestrial lookout or any information from any nearby spirits that may be there, if I could. So I'd like to use my ability, Ghost Mind.
Yes, Dove, when you normally reach out to the spirits, how do you view them? Are you pretty,
we're good buddies.
Good buddies? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have a particular favorites that you wander around with, or you just kind of make friends with whoever you see?
I just make friends wherever I go.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and do this as a fortune roll. Go ahead and give me a fortune with that.
Happily. My ghost mind ability lets me take 1 die whenever I gather information by supernatural means, or about the supernatural by any means.
Yes, so you'll be rolling 3 dice.
Okay. I got 2 6s and a 4.
Okay, so you crit.
I'm just so friendly all the time.
Yeah, there's a few around over here. I'm gonna say there's a couple of them that kind of seem curious and are pretty friendly, but there's one in particular that you weren't expecting, and it actually comes out of the house.
Oh, well, hello there.
How do you normally see spirits, Dove? What do they look like to you?
What do they look like to Dove? They look, they're kind of grayscale, kind of wearing whatever they were last wearing, or whatever was most important to them.
Mm-hmm.
She's not afraid of them. There's no horror about them to her, so I think they just kind of look like whoever they were before they were gone.
Okay. This is a dog that comes up to you.
Aren't you just the sweetest little thing? You come here. And she starts scruffing up at something's neck. Nobody else sees it, I don't think.
No. It has a little ghostly collar on it that just says Spot.
Spot. Aren't you just the best little thing?
And it's super excited. It's like it's been waiting for somebody to come and acknowledge it for like so long.
Stop playing with it a little bit and pretend she's got a little stick and starts throwing it towards the back of the house, and she starts frolicking back to where they're supposed to go. Like, hey, Bacon Boy, Sweet Pea, I made a friend. Spot.
And of course, we don't see anything.
Yeah. But Dove, you'll see that Spot goes actually to the back kitchen door and goes in through a little doggy door that's still there in the ghost field from previous house modification. And I will say for the rest of this score, you have a ghost pet that will assist you with that grit for any actions that you want to do.
Amazing. Well, Spot's already scooted right back on in there. This is how we're getting in?
I nod to Dove. Yeah, through the window, or I guess through the door, but I think the window is easier. Come on.
Sure. Sweet Pea, you need a lift?
Yeah, maybe just a little one.
She'll cup her hands out for you to put your foot in. Give you a nice little boost.
And I'll kind of scramble through the window. Thankfully, I have a very slim build, so it's pretty easy to lift me, but it also means that I don't really always have the strength to haul myself up.
Okay.
Dove will follow suit.
Yeah, so getting us positioned in the kitchen for me is more just sort of like getting the crew in and then finding little spots where they can temporarily sort of be out of direct line of sight. That might be a cupboard, that might be a pantry, that might be, a larder or something where if someone walked in the room for whatever reason, they wouldn't see three goat gang members hanging out in their kitchen, availing themselves of whatever goodies are there.
Yeah. It smells amazing in this kitchen. Like somebody was cooking. They're out running errands or something, but dinner smells great. Seems to be a couple of pastries sitting out, cooling. Looks like there's a couple of pots on the stove that are staying warm.
Okay. Give the pots a little bit of a sniff and see if there's any specific flavors that I'm familiar with. I'll sort of muse while I'm doing so. Where do you think they keep this harps or whatever at?
They got a really good pot roast on.
Oh.
And then the next one over, you're pretty sure is like for mashed potatoes or something. And then there's a third pot that's just kind of sitting up there. And when you go to lift the lid on that one, you just kind of get a spoon in the face. Smack.
Ow.
Oi! Watch it! It's my hidey hole. It's Susie. You can keep your mitts on the other pots. I made sure to leave them for you.
Dove just fingers into the pot roast on one side and pulls off a strip and tries to feed it to Spot.
Spot, it is consumed.
Amazing. You're such a good boy, Spot. Look at you.
So happy right now, just running little circles. Thinks he's gonna get another piece.
A harpsichord's like a big fancy. It's a fancy instrument. So maybe it's somewhere they'd want to be showing it off. Maybe they've got it in I don't know, the foyer or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's probably unlikely to be upstairs. Feel like if it's big, hauling it all the way up there would be pointless.
Yeah, but rich folks do that all the time.
Yeah, they are weird, aren't they?
But this place has got 2 floors, which means maybe, just maybe, there's a back staircase. You know, for their servants and whatnot.
Probably. All I'm gonna say is the big bed, the package goes in. And he ain't gonna know it's from us.
You bet he will.
Exactly. Now, I'm gonna scrounge around here for a little bit and see what else, might just end up in my pockets. If you know what I mean. You guys focus on your job. That's what I'm paying you for anyway.
Sure. Right.
Just closes the lid back down on the stew pot as if she was never there.
I'll turn to Dove and say, you said there was a dog here?
Yeah, Spot. He's right at your feet. He's a good boy.
Sure. If he lived here, do you think maybe he knows the way around?
Oh, yeah, probably. Hey, Spot. Where you want to go first, Bacon Boy?
I think we go upstairs and work our way down.
Yeah. Hey, Spot, you want to go upstairs? You want to go upstairs, boy?
Woof! Does a few laps around you and then bolts out of the kitchen.
All right, this way, guys. And she starts waddling after the dog.
Okay. I'm going to trust Dove's instinct, but also try to stay sort of in line with where she is in case there's any need for, specific skills of hiding and prowling around. We do not want to get caught in this house.
Yeah. As much as she's an open-spirited person, she's not too silly. She would like to prowl about it.
Sounds good. As you guys move past the kitchen and head into one of the hallways here at the back of the house, there you do see that there is a couple of different staircases. One at the back, one seems to be in the front of the house, more so towards the entry. House just kind of splits into 4 sections. The kitchen and the pantry area kind of being 1/4 of that. There's other rooms. But you do hear some noise. And you're fairly certain that there's probably some sort of servant or somebody that's still wandering around. As you guys kind of try to get past the kitchen into that back stairwell, I'm going to say that you do catch a maid that is looks like she was taking care of some firewood and stuff, making sure that the fireplaces are lit before the family comes home, kind of a thing. And yeah, I'm going to need y'all to make a roll to see if you can hide before she sees you.
Alrighty.
Because it's a hallway.
Can I argue that I'm rolling a finesse to try and be quick and quiet about it?
You can definitely try. Yeah, I don't see why not. I will say this position is risky standard, but if you all want to change that by chance to something else, you can.
Okay, so I kind of have an idea because I'd like to try the if you jump off a bridge special ability because it seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're in a hallway, I'm going to imagine that there's possibly like a hall closet or a place where they put linens or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'd like to do is, in a rush, I would really like to sort of pull Sweet Pea and Dove into the same closet with me as a way of both being protective and yet letting the maid pass by so we can keep on where we're going. I realize it's risky, but for me, if it's not risky, it's not fun. So I'm willing to be desperate in that regard. I will take a desperate action.
Absolutely. And so, jump off a bridge. If you take a desperate action, all other crew members present must participate in this group action. You may select another scoundrel to take the stress from the bad outcomes. You are leading the action, so normally in Blades, you would be taking any stress from their failed rolls. But because you have jump off a bridge, you can decide. So who takes the stress here for this action?
So the wording there, if you don't mind, I'm going to attempt a little play on the words given your wording.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to select myself. And the reason why is because once I gain the stress, I can use 7 million coin and push myself during the same action. So I can feed off my own desperation to make myself better.
Yep. I like that.
So when I push in this system, do I pick up a die for that?
So normally to push, you take stress. That normally takes 2 stress. So you may push yourself by only spending 1 stress normally.
Okay.
So that means you pushing yourself only costs half the stress.
Yeah, and I get the die. So, okay. Cool.
Everyone, which ability did you use for that roll? Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, but Mike's the one leading the action.
Now, I'm going to use finesse because I also have finesse.
Okay. Everyone rolls finesse. Let me know your results.
So if we don't have it, is it a default of 1?
You're going to roll 2 dice and you're going to take the lesser number.
Okay.
I crit again.
So I have a crit, so I have a 6 and a 4.
Okay.
Plus a 2, but you only get a count.
I got 2 6s again. He's a hot dice for me.
He's tough. All right. And Sweet Pea?
A 5 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1. Boy, I'm glad I'm not running you guys with synchronized, which is a crew ability, which means group actions, multiple 6s means it crits automatically. But Dove did crit alone on her 2 dice, so it is a crit. You, Bacon Boy, grab a Sweet Pea and Dove and very quickly and deftly hurl them into this closet with you. And I'm going to say an effect of this, because of the crit, is you guys are hidden, but the maid is going to get a little spooked and I'm going to say she's probably not used to being alone in such a big house. So she's going to very much hurry on down the hallway and essentially hole herself up in the kitchen until more people get home, because it makes her feel a little uncomfortable. But you guys are fully hidden, so you guys have essentially taken care of the maid.
Yeah, once we're packed into the closet, I'm quiet as a church mouse, just counting the steps that go down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. You hear her whisper, "I'm pretty sure this is like 500 thread cotton."
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's just, Susie is up on one of the upper shelves. She's just curled up in some of the sheets and is just stroking it.
You know, Ma'd probably like that for something. I'm going to filch one of these sheets.
All right. You snag some sheets. The maid has finished her walk down the hallway and enters the kitchen, empty firewood container in hand, and just goes to essentially watch the pots on the stove, keep them warm, and probably read a book. So your exit would probably need to be a different location. But she's not going to raise the alarm for you guys being in the house. You guys can continue.
Yeah, pop out and then quietly continue to search the second floor for this harpsichord.
You guys go up the stairs and it splits off. There's a left and a right. Which way do you guys want to go?
Let's all go to the left.
I can go to the right with Spot.
That's a great idea, Duff. Go to the right with Spot. I sort of look a little uneasy at what I believe is an imaginary dog.
That you still cannot see at all.
I can't, but the unsettling thing is that Dove fed it roast beef and the roast beef disappeared. That's either that or there's some chicanery that I'm not familiar with.
We're going to go ahead and follow Sweet Pea for a moment. It's a pretty nice hallway. Really rich wallpaper, kind of little floral leaf motif, rich carpet. A couple of very interesting paintings. If you look at them a little too long, they seem to move and watch you. Yeah. How have you ever been watched from a painting before? And have you ever seen a painting before?
Oh, I've seen a painting, but not anything unsettling like being watched. So I'm gonna avert my eyes down just enough that I'm not gonna look at the faces or whatever seems to be moving, and look down the hall for any doors.
There's it seems like a couple of suits of armor. Looks like Jock's, and just kind of from the vibe of the house, Jock's uncle has probably done some collecting. He's probably a merchant of some sort. So there seems to be a lot of accoutrement and, pieces from around the shattered aisles that you guys have never seen before. And on this particular hallway down the left with Sweet Pea, there are a couple of suits of armor that are standing there in the hallway, and then across from them is a really fancy vase on a pedestal. But there does seem to be a couple of doors down this way.
I'll go to the first door, unless they're across from each other, in which case I will go to the left first.
Okay, they are across from each other, and you open it up. There's a couple of stickers and things on the door, the external side of the door. And as you open the door, you walk in and realize you're in a child's bedroom. There's a fish tank along one of the back walls over by the window. There's a bed. There's some toys strung around, especially toy soldiers and whatnot. So it seems like Jacques has a male cousin, you're pretty sure.
I'm gonna just take a very brief look around. I'm not gonna touch anything because it doesn't look like the harpsichord is gonna be in this room, and I'll shut the door real quiet. And
Can I get a roll from you to see if you find anything while you're in here?
Absolutely. I got a 5 and a 2.
Okay. Under the bed, there does seem to be small little vignette books that are kind of stuffed under the bed frame. Seems like fantastical tales of some characters. Seems like is reading some fantasy.
Okay, and I'll just take a look at the covers. We're trying to, get in and out of here as quick as possible. So it's interesting, but it's not what we're looking for. So I'll tuck them back under the bed.
It also kind of seems really proofy to you. It's just there. What is romance to Sweet Pea?
Real gross.
Yeah, it's not something that you would ever read.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but, being 14 years old, I don't really have a lot of interest in that right now.
Mm-hmm. Over by the fish tank, there's a desk. Looks like some schoolwork and whatnot is on it. Stacked up, some books for studying. And then the fish tank itself is, you've never seen that kind of fish before. Kind of glows a little bit blue, and it's got some really nasty fangs. And
that freaks me out a little, to be honest, because, like, fish shouldn't have fangs. That seems very unnatural.
kind of like stuffed behind the desk is looks like a little doll that's been chewed on. So
I want to see if I can reach my hand back there and pick that up and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. It's a little doll about 6 or 8 inches tall, little blonde curlets hair, and done up really pretty, but the face is like half missing, so like some of the hair is kind of like pulled out. It's wearing a little dress, and one of the shoes are missing. But you look back to the fish, you look back to the doll, and you're pretty sure you know what happened to the doll.
I'm going to put the doll back in the fish tank.
I'm going to roll some dice. Do you toss it in or do you hold on to it?
Oh, no, I toss it in.
Okay. It is an absolute frenzy of just blue lines going across. You know how your eye sometimes, if something moves really quickly, there's that fade of where the line was just a moment before. You see a lot of that in the fish tank, and the bubbles, and then just shreds of doll and plastic and who knows what stuffing materials slowly coming up to the surface.
Yep, and at that point, I will back out of the room and just shut the door behind me.
Okay. When you reach the second door, we're going to go back to Dove and Bacon Boy. Bacon Boy, you sent Sweet Pea down the left, and Dove and the dog are heading down the right. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? So if the hallway is a total fork, then one of the thoughts I had would maybe be to work back the way we came to see if there are any other rooms within the hall here, or if there's another way around inside the second floor of this house.
There's a little bit of a landing, but not really anything else. And you kind of see like some more paintings. Again, they're looking at you. You've never seen anything like this. And a couple of plants.
Plants, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll check the plants out just to, I don't know, maybe somebody dropped a key in one, or maybe there's a favored stone in one of those plant holders. Who knows?
Okay. I am going to need you to make a resist roll as you go to put your hand in one of the planters. And this ivy-esque vine that is hanging out wraps around your arm in your hand and starts constricting. So a resist roll for Blades is you can completely negate this with armor. You know, obviously, fiction dependent. You can resist things with armor, or you can make a resist roll, in which case it falls under insight, prowess, and resolve, and what we count is the first pip in each of the actions you have in it. So, like, this would most likely be a prowess, because that's a physical resist. You have 3 different actions with pips in them, so you would have 3 dice to resist this.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to get a harm here.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get out of the way of this. All right, I have a 6 and a 5 and a 2.
Okay. How And what does it look like as Bacon Boy resists this?
So I think that this vine, or perhaps this plant-like growth, has grabbed onto is grabbing onto his coat. And so what he does is he simply lets it have what it wants, which is the coat, and he pulls his arm out and lets the coat fall to the floor and takes a big step back from this plant and the rest of it.
All right. And as you normally, you take a stress minus the largest number that you rolled. Since you rolled a 6, you have 0. You take 0 stress to resist this. So if you would have had like your highest number be a 3, you take 3 stress to resist. But you rolled a 6, so no stress there. Yeah, you escape. It doesn't look like the other plant is reacting or the other plants. It just seems to be this one. Evidently, Jacques' uncle is very likes some very interesting things.
Huh. Well, there's a hall closet that's not too far from here that we hid in that had linens in it. What's the chances that there might be perhaps a gentleman's coat hanging out there that I can replace my dirty, dingy coat with?
I'd say that would probably be in the downstairs closet.
Fair enough.
Or downstairs hallway. But yeah, you can definitely find a replacement, or you can also possibly find a replacement in the master bedroom.
Oh, it sounds like a wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll hopefully learn where Dove and Sweet Pea find the master bedroom. I assume it's on the 2nd floor.
And I think with that, we're going to go to Dove. Dove, go down this hallway, and there are some paintings looking at you.
Oh, that's interesting. And she starts looking right at them.
A couple of them just kind of like wave and give direct eye contact.
She kind of like follows their movements and does it the same.
There's a couple of suits of armor as well in this side of the hallway. A couple of paintings, and then a couple of doors. One seems to be like a really large bathroom, and the other one seems to be a bedroom.
Interesting. Before she pops into the bathroom's nice. This people always got like fancy perfumes. She'll probably take a quick look in there later, but she wants to walk over to one of the suits of armor and just like gently tap on its helmet a little bit.
Yeah.
Bink, bink, bink.
It moves.
Oh, that's fun.
And one of the arms just comes out and just kind of like sets its gauntleted hand on your head.
She'll look around his spot to see what he's doing. She's like, look at this. This is funny. I'm getting pet this time.
Yeah, you go to move from underneath of it, and the hand just kind of keeps your head there.
Oh, this is less fun. She'll try and like slink out of it as best she can, to like drop down a little bit and step back. Tricksy one.
Go ahead and make me a roll. See how well you can get out of this.
I'd like to roll a finesse about it if I can.
Absolutely.
That's not as good. That's a 3 and a 2.
Okay, you do not succeed. And actually, the other hand reaches out and grabs your arm, and you are stuck there.
Well, this is just unfriendly.
I am going to say this does make some noise because you're trying to escape, and it is a suit of armor that is essentially being shaken a little bit. So I am going to start a clock. It's a 4-tick clock. And this one is going to be alarm raised. So the maid downstairs is going to start hearing some noises if you don't figure this out soon, or get alarmed to come investigate. I will say that this noise is heard by both Sweet Pea and Bacon Boy.
Okay. Yeah, so hearing the noise, that's probably when I split from the hall closet looking for a replacement coat and knowing that someone down there has perhaps found something they shouldn't have.
and I'll head towards the noise, but I'm gonna not move real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to prowl necessarily, but I am trying to keep the noise I'm making down just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you see Dove being held by a suit of armor.
I made a new friend, Bacon Boy, but this guy doesn't seem to be too friendly.
Dove, what is going on?
I don't know. It might be a spirit. He just wants a hug. I should probably figure it out.
Let's see if we can't extricate you from that thing. I turn when I see Sweet Pea, who, eventually is coming down the hallway, and I'll say, "No grenades."
And I just give a thumbs up, like, I'll use it if I need to later.
You hear a profanity somewhere in an air vent. Fuck no. Essentially, Susie doesn't like that particular approach.
Yeah, well, Susie's not the one doing the job. We are.
Or she could be simply saying it about something else that she's finding. Who knows?
That is true. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of finesse to get out of this suit of armor. So we'll have to help Dove in some way. So, I have skirmish as an ability. I don't want to fight this thing if I don't have to, because it would A, be loud, and B, it's a suit of armor that is animated.
As you guys are contemplating this, the clock is going to tick up because as Dove is trying to escape and getting a little bit more panicked, it is holding on very well.
Can I assist her in getting out then?
Yeah? How do you want to do that?
I want to see if I can use...
Don't forget on your sheet, over underneath your playbook specific items, you also have another column that shows additional items that you have with you. So go ahead and consider that as well for anything, but also if you have a fun idea. Don't necessarily have to be tied to the sheet.
Okay. So I have tinkering tools, and so I'm wondering, this suit of armor's got to be put together somehow, so let's just take it apart, like at the shoulder. It's hard to hold on to somebody if it can't hold its arm up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for it. I am going to say, because this is tied to a clock, this is a desperate action.
That's fair.
Okay, so
I got a 5.
we're also rolling, right?
Yep. Everyone else is going to have to roll.
And if we don't have anything in Tinka...
You roll 2 dice and you'll take the lesser number.
Take the lower. I got a 1. I spent all my good rolls.
I got a 6.
Sweet Pea knows how to pull this thing apart. Bacon Boy, what was the number on your dice again?
I got a 5.
You got a 5? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely Sweet Pea, though. So you can extricate Dove pretty well. You know pressure points and things, Sweet Pea.
Yeah, so once I imagine I have to kind of pull a little bit, like, piece by piece, and, like, set those on the ground real quiet to, like, not bring extra attention to myself, so that way there's just enough room for me to kind of yank Dove out of it.
Oof. Thanks, Sweet Pea.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to say that takes care of that clock. It is no longer present for making noise. It may or may not come back, so I'm going to say that the clock doesn't necessarily go away, but it's not going to tick up or anything. Just going to be present on the board, as they say. But yeah, you get out this suit of armor, Dove.
They got some real interesting choices of art here. Some of these paintings, they like to follow you when they move, when you're walking by.
Yeah, the plants grabbed me earlier.
Oh, plants? Not okay.
You can see that, like, I don't have my jacket on.
You gotta be real careful around plants. They do all sorts of crazy things, I guess. Well, that one over there, I'm pretty sure is the bathroom, but I think that one's the bedroom. Should we go check it out?
Dove, this is probably the first time that you have had less of a positive experience with a spirit or entity before. How does that make you feel?
I don't know that she thinks it's less positive. I think she thinks that they were probably kind of lonely, and they just wanted to make sure to keep someone nearby that could listen to them.
All right.
It's like water off a duck's back.
Sounds good. So you guys are going into the bedroom?
That is the plan.
Okay. This is a huge room. This is the master bedroom. It has its own seating area. There is a rug of a creature that you have never seen before on the ground. Has stripes on it. Maybe this is a zebra that Susie was talking about. Who knows? There is the rug. There's a personal fireplace in here that is lit. Looks like the maid was in here before you guys came and did home invasion. There is a massive walk-in closet and a huge bed. Like, this is the largest bed you guys have ever seen.
Who needs a bed this big? Must be a family of 6 that sleeps in it.
Maybe. I'm real tempted to jump in it, not gonna lie.
Go on, do it.
Mess up those bed sheets a little.
What's Spot doing in here?
Spot is kind of like laying on the creature rug and is just like gnawing on some sort of ghost bone in front of the fireplace as if this is his happy spot.
Delightful. I think Dove's gonna rile him up a little bit, get him all excited and his tail wagging, and then she's gonna take a run and leap at the bed.
All right.
Jump on it a little bit.
Oh, this is the best bed you have ever jumped on in your life.
Did Spot join her?
Yeah. Spot will join you.
I think you just start seeing like 2 little circles running around in the bed, mussing up the sheets. One's clearly Dove, but maybe not so much the other. They like you when you get them excited.
Out of the closet walks Susie, has a fancy hat on that she found in some sort of box, and is wearing this way too large fur coat for her. And there's like necklaces and stuff dangling out of the pockets and whatnot, and she's just walking out all proud and excited of herself. I'm gonna have to send this to the tailor. It's way too tall for me. What do you think? Think it's my color?
Absolutely.
That's what I like to hear.
I take a look around the room and see if there's a fancy musical instrument in it.
There is not. There's a gramophone. You've heard of those.
Yeah.
Seems to be a array of bottles in front of a mirror on the opposite side of the closet where Susie came out of, that all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors of fluids in those.
What do you think those are?
There could be some perfumes, or I don't know, maybe something for what do they call it? A nightcap. Sounds like a fancy way of saying they just want to get drunk at night before they go to sleep.
I'm gonna step towards the closet that Susie came out of. You see any coats in there?
Besides this one? Abso-fucking-lutely.
I'm going to, I sort of raise my chin up and adjust my probably grimy work shirt. I'm going to avail myself of the Lord's clothes. Step into the closet.
Go shopping.
His stuff seems to be on the left, and the real fancy shit is on the upper shelf far side.
I like playfully march into the closet.
What you thinking, Sweet Pea? You gonna join Dove on the bed?
It's real bouncy.
No, I'm gonna take a look in the closet and see if there's any dresses that are gonna fit a body like mine, very slim and moderately tall, but loose enough that I can carry whatever this big thing might be.
You do find a couple of dresses, surprisingly. Seems like the lady of the house is of a similar stature and build as you. Fancier than you've ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
But also some very interesting styles, too. Like, how can you do anything in some of these outfits, you know? Are you just supposed to sit there and look pretty? I don't know.
Well, if I ever get a life where I can just sit and look pretty, that's going to be a good day.
Dove's gonna toss the comforter back in the sheet just to get it ready to put the goat's head in. And she's gonna start going through the nightstands to see if they've got any secret letters or anything interesting that maybe she can sell for people who do the information gathering, selling stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead and just give me a fortune roll, 1d6.
I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5. You do find some stuff. There's a bundle of letters. There's a watch and some cufflinks in one of the nightstands. Just little tokens, little picture.
She doesn't care so much about the pictures.
Okay.
Well, sorry. She grabs the letters.
No, you're not.
She takes the not really. Takes the letters and the watch and the cufflinks. Something she'll be able to, hawk for money right now, and something she'll be able to sell to somebody with a keen eye for information gathering.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Bacon Boy, go ahead, give me a fortune roll to see if you find what kind of coat you find.
Yeah, you betch. No problem. Oh, that is 2 6s.
Okay. You find the best coat you ever have. What's your dream coat?
Yeah, so I think his dream coat is like this sort of mock naval captain's coat. It has like epaulets with little fringes and buttons and all sorts of fancy piping, but also has like interior pockets for, putting various things. And is, of course, dark as a primary color, which would help him in the prowling business.
Yeah. No, this is, you walk out with this and it needs a little bit of tailoring, but actually not too much. So it would be pretty easy for you to make adjustments to this, but this is fancy. And you come out and Susie says, hot damn. That's a Leviathan hunter's imperial jacket. Woo-wee.
I turn around. Oh, yeah? It look okay?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Blend right in with the void sea or some dark alley. Nobody's going to see you coming.
Perfect.
But the gaudy strings and stuff you might want to go ahead and take off. But, maybe, snaps. I bet you we can add them back with snaps and then you can put them on whenever you're feeling fancy.
That sounds perfect. All right. I plunk the goat head down in the bed. That's one part of this job.
Excuse me. Where is your finesse here? Where is your sense of showmanship? Are you even going to take it out of the wrapper?
I scratch my neck. Yeah, fair enough. All right, Dove, it looks like you got the bed just about ready.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it right between the pillows. Let's let the stink get all over the top of the bed.
Oh my God. Sweet Pea. You're tall. Can you reach that fancy head up there with the feathers on it?
I can certainly try.
I think that will fit on the goat head, make it all fancy. What do you think? Think it's a good idea?
Oh, absolutely. And then we can leave it in plain sight.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just get the hat down. I'm not going to make you roll for it. And then Susie will kind of hand it over to Dove.
Yeah. She'll get the goat head all situated like it's taking a daytime nap, and she'll put the hat right on top of it and pull the covers up just under its little chin. Oh, look, it's so cute.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And Susie takes a letter out of her pocket. It's some fancy letter that she's got with a real fancy seal on it. You're not exactly sure where she got it. She just kind of opens up the bottom chin, just kind of puts the letter in there, puts the chin back up. All right. My demands have been noted. Bubs has been properly revenged. Now, you can all take your hats off and give a moment of silence for Bubs.
Dove will bow her head, put her hand over her heart.
You were the best, Rat. You were a great friend. And, I don't think Daisy's gonna live up to you, Bubs. But, I got nothing else to say. Any of you guys got kind words?
Bubs, your whiskers were always the cutest little thing, and they tickled my nose whenever you came to say hi. And that was always real nice.
I always thought you were extra elegant and very graceful, and I will miss you greatly.
Bubs, I'd always feed you just a little scraps before we went out on a job. You were always good luck.
All right. I think that's enough. Bubs wouldn't want us to go ahead and stay here too long on that. And thank you. I appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and get this harpsichord or what harpsichord or whatever.
Maybe there's a music room or a one of those fancy drawing rooms downstairs.
Probably would be, babe.
Sweet Pea, did you get all the rooms up here on the other side? Just in case.
Oh, I didn't take a look in the other room that was down the hallway because I had to come and rescue you.
Yeah, much appreciated, but maybe we can just take a real quick look to see if it's up there. Would hate to have to come back upstairs and make sure, I guess, to avoid the armor, they're too friendly.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And if we go as a group, if the other armor that is down at the end of the hall comes to life, we can deal with it in a much faster fashion.
Come on, Spot.
Spot follows right along.
Yeah. Eyes and ears open.
And I'll lead the way down the hallway and point to the door on the left. That's the one I already looked at. And there's a scary-ass fish in there, and we don't need to mess with that. So this is the door I haven't looked into yet.
I forgot why people kept fish for pets. Fish are for eating. And even then, ugh.
Well, this one's got teeth.
Oh, see, now this fish does the eating. It gets it. It understands the way of life. It shouldn't be in a pet dish.
Yeah, it's a little vicious. So we're just gonna leave that be.
Susie, by the way, has completely just kind of take her solemn, silent exit, and you kind of hear a little bit of jingling as things may or may not be falling out of a fur coat jacket, because she may have overstuffed it with contraband that she stole. But she's heading downstairs.
So this is the one that you didn't go in? And she'll try the door.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. When you go to that one and open it up, it seems to be a young girl's room. It's very frilly in here.
I mean,
There's a doll, a big, like, you could almost walk. I'm pretty sure Susie could walk into it, but like, a huge dollhouse. There's a couple of chairs that seem to be like really fluffy, big animals. Lots of lace and things in here.
well, this is not a harpsichord.
No, it definitely isn't. And I'm gonna look under this bed too.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a fortune roll for that.
I got a 4.
Okay. It's not as disgusting under this bed. This bed is pretty clean underneath. But underneath one of the pillows, you actually find a couple of interesting books. You find a strange botany book by a particular professor at Charter Hall University on Deathland fauna. And then kind of tucked behind that, you're pretty sure that you spy some reports that somebody may or may not have stolen off of her father's desk regarding some movements with the Leviathan hunters. So somebody seems to be very different-minded than her sibling.
I'll just flip through the first few pages in both of these books.
Yeah, the bundle of letters seems to be a series of correspondence between Jacques' uncle and somebody else with the title of Lord in it, which seems really fancy. And the botany book is pretty interesting. It's got some interesting things specifically relating to poisons and alchemical effects. That actually may be useful.
I'm gonna tuck the book like into the side of my dress with the intention of bringing it back with me.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. So you guys want to head back downstairs?
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys head downstairs. There is several different rooms you guys can just kind of meander through. And I'm going to say there's a library with like a home office in it. A lot of artifacts and things in this room. There's a more of a sitting room, kind of a parlor. And it does seem to be a small desk-like thing that is sitting in there with music sheets and everything on it next to a violin. So this is probably where music lessons are held. And then there's like a dining room and everything else as well. But that's near the kitchen and the maid. You probably there's not much in there. But you guys did find there is a harpsichord in here in the music section of the parlor. It's kind of set off to one corner.
All right, here it is.
Do we just want to grab it and go, or do we want to see if there's anything interesting in that library?
I mean, I don't know how to read, but I won't stop you from reading.
Yeah. It's less about the reading and more about sometimes people leave interesting information behind. But hey, this is what our job is, the harpsichord. I'm good to just grab this and get out of here.
All right, then.
Yeah.
How heavy does it look?
It's over 50 pounds. It's pretty decent. It's a pretty decently sized item here, made out of solid wood.
Yeah, not to mention all of the metal inside of it to make it work. Okay. So I'll take this side. You take that side, and we'll find a way out of here. We got to get back to the carriage.
Yeah, quick. Should we wrap it just in case?
Yeah, sure. I look around and see if there's like a tablecloth or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to take the lace tablecloth off of the dining room table, you totally can. I will say that there are place settings on the table.
I was just gonna go to the linen closet.
Or you could also grab stuff out of the closet that you guys were in.
One of those 500 count cotton sheets.
But there's an entire table. And it's all set for dinner, right?
Yeah. You gonna do a magic trick and take the tablecloth off all quick?
I think I am.
All right.
Sweet Pea, get ready to run. I grab one end of the tablecloth.
Yeah.
Grab the other side of the hop.
So for this, I do want to offer a devil's bargain.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Why not?
I mean, how professional does Bacon Boy think he is with doing the swipe? Because I can offer a devil's bargain of you make the swipe, but something does crash. So something does fall. Like something falls over.
Yeah, like I think for Bacon Boy, like he's pretty young in the game at this point. I don't think he has molded himself into the professional second story man, cat burglar that he really wants to be. And so life is full of lessons as to why not to do things. He probably hasn't learned enough of them yet. And so he feels like this is the sort of thing that when you put a dead goat's head in somebody's bed and you're going to steal their harpsichord and probably their favorite jacket, you're going to F up their house too.
Okay, so with this devil's bargain, I am going to fill the alarm clock if you so choose to accept this devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will have to skedaddle quickly, as they say. Everyone who is present must participate in this action. I will say it is desperate given what you were trying to do. This is a massive table with multiple place settings on it.
I think it's a finesse roll.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's not bad. I have my two highest are 6 and 5.
Okay.
4 and a 3.
6 and a 3.
6 and a 3. Okay, so you do succeed, but I am going to say that there's a beautiful vase in the center full of flowers. And that was just a little too big compared to all the place settings. Like, you got this nailed down. You've got Sweet Pea and Dove on one side, Bacon Boy on the other, and you're swiping all in the same direction, but the vase is a little heavier and a little bit more solid silver than you were expecting. And that does come crashing down on the table, spilling water and flowers everywhere, but you do get the tablecloth. And there is a voice that comes from the kitchen of, hello? Is somebody there?
So
what are you guys doing?
at this point, I am hustling, knowing we have made a racket, to scoop up the harpsichord and with Dove's help sort of begin to hustle it out of the house. No, we probably know the floor plan of the main level fairly well. And so if that's the maid in the kitchen, she's going to come this way. Is there another pathway through the house, perhaps through intersecting doors or intersecting rooms that we can take to go around her?
Potentially, if you want to go back through the kitchen, there is also just the front entryway that you can just leave out of. And that's probably the largest door, too. It'd be the fastest to fit this large of an object.
I love that for us.
But if you want to go through the kitchen and try to, pivot around the kitchen and whatnot,
yeah,
you can.
I think going out the front door is also more brazen.
I want to go into the kitchen and knock this maid out.
Okay, so we're going to do this separately. I guess Dove and Bacon Boy, you have the harpsichord, and it's not going to be as fast without Sweet Pea. But Sweet Pea, real quick, what you doing? You want to go? You want to use this dart gun, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I can, so I was thinking about skirmish, and I'm not sure if the dart gun falls under skirmish or not.
Absolutely, why not?
Okay. So I'm gonna get.
There's needles and vials involved. Even if you just stick her with it and not use the blowgun specifically, I think that's completely doable.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get real close, and I'm just gonna fire 2 or 3 darts into her, so that way she falls faster than one dart would take. And I rolled a 5 and a 2.
A 5 and a 2. Okay, so you do succeed. I think you're doing this in such close proximity, and she's trying to exit the kitchen, doesn't quite see you, but she falls over you. So you essentially are going to break her fall. So you can take a level 1 harm. You can resist that, of course. This is a consequence of the 5. It's not a full success. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me, fortune, and I'm going to see what they land on and what you get, because there was no labels on these vials.
I got a 4 and a 2.
A 4 and a 2? Okay.
Upper and a downer.
Oh, this is going to be interesting, because you permanently fuse 2 surfaces until dissolved with alcast or electroplasm. So this maid is now stuck to you. Also, she is incapacitated right now because you used essentially a vial of a liquefied drown powder. So she is incapacitated and feeling like she is drowning while stuck to you.
Great.
What are you doing? I will say that she is a little larger than you. You're, not quite an adult yet. She's not much bigger than you, but she's definitely a little bigger than you. And so now you need help.
I want to take a plate off of the table and try to pry it in so that we aren't stuck together anymore.
Yeah, binding oil. There's only one alchemical that's gonna dissolve that. You could also get her potentially out of the clothes. That is another option.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to try that too. I'm in close proximity. Can I use skirmish to try to remove her clothes?
Yes. I am going to say this is a desperate action.
Oh.
This is a desperate action. I am going to say limited effect, because she is obviously attached to you, and trying to get somebody out of clothes who is incapacitated is very difficult. I would say if you want to get standard effect, you are going to have to push yourself. So you would take 2 stress to bump that up to standard effect.
Oh, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
And let me roll.
I am going to quickly ask, before you tell me the result, Bacon Boy and Dove, Do you realize that Sweet Pea is taking a moment, a little longer than necessary, possibly? Or are you guys just out the door at this point, getting it loaded into the carriage?
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty fully focused on completing the other part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more worried about the harpsichord getting down the stairs and out into hopefully the carriage that Susie's got waiting for us than concerned about where Sweet Pea is at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels pretty accurate, considering how big this thing is. We never leave a goat behind, but we gotta get this hefty thing into that carriage.
All right. So, Sweet Pea, what is the result of your roll?
6 and a 3.
6 and a 3. Is this the first time that you have undressed somebody else before, Sweet Pea?
Yes, it sure is.
You do it very well. So quickly. If somebody else was watching, they'd probably think that you've rehearsed that before. But you quickly get her clothes off. She's laying down on the floor, face down. You can go ahead and make your escape. I will say by this point, Susie is on a kitchen counter and eating one of the pastries from earlier. And just looks over to you and says, "That's a pretty solid 8 out of 10, I might say." And then just tosses a couple of kitchen towels over the maid, so she has at least something on her.
And I'll go out the door, and if they haven't loaded the harpsichord into the carriage yet, I will help, what I can to heft it up in there.
I am going to say there is you walk out, you were wearing essentially 2 different outfits. You got your pretty dress that you found and the maid's outfit now with you. It's a 2-for-1 special, actually.
Yeah, what I've done is just tied the maid's outfit around my waist and over my shoulders, just
Mm-hmm.
I am wearing 2 outfits, but the maid's outfit is now a cape.
Yes. And they have it mostly in the carriage, but they definitely need your assistance. And yeah, you guys can get in the carriage and make your escape, running down the street as blind hour begins and the fog of the hour starts to roll in as the goats make their noises running down the street while Susie yells some very interesting encouragement to them from the driver's seat. And that is the end of the score. 1 harpsichord, a couple of outfits, 1 coat, and a ghost dog, which is now a companion of Dove.
Such a good boy.
Well, not too bad for a night's work, huh?
Feel like we made out like bandits.
Yeah, Sweet Pea got new clothes, too.
Yeah, not only did I get new clothes, but the maid didn't really see the 2 of you, so we got off kind of scot-free.
I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Well, on to the warehouse.
Yep, let's get this turned in.
You guys turn it in, and I will say the carriage gets returned. Susie makes sure to, run it through the carriage wash and rinse the goats off. So, the disguises the goats were under with the stripes and everything are now gone. So obviously it wasn't this carriage. And the next day you hear the news, it's all in the paper, about a Leviathan hunter's noble home was broken into, and a goat head was found while the maid was unconscious, and unclothed. It's very interesting, some of the speculation that has come out of this, because nobody exactly considered that, but they do think possibly the bill hooks are to blame for this, not you guys. So
even better.
Yeah. And Susie pays you handsomely. And that's where we close out tonight.
Well, thank you very much for being our Goatfather, Michelle. I appreciate playing Blades. I had a blast. And hopefully this won't be the last time we get to see you in the narrative lead chair.
Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime. And so thanks, everyone. And from Dustfall, we'll say good night.